dann ein RPG-Maker-Spiel, das sich Quiet nennt, dann ein RPG-Maker-Spiel, das sich Claret Moon nennt und dann haben wir fertig gemacht.
Haben wir das?
Claret Moon.
Das hab ich.
Gone Home. Kein Homo-Dance. Karen ist auch da.
Hallo Karl.
Zumindest sagt Puffy das. Gut. Gut. Also wir machen mit Higurashi weiter. Keiichi-kun, so sorry. In her place, Serena came running over. I could see all the others behind her. Speak of the devil. My bad, Kei-chan. We got so caught up in our discussion. I'd completely forgotten about them while caught up in my own conversation, so we were even. My, so Tomitake-san was with you. This works out perfectly. We still need to settle the shooting gallery competition. Ah, that's right. So I guess I'm gonna end up dead last. In the end, after my dramatic victory, Rika-chan was the last challenger, but there weren't many targets left. The ones remaining were all tiny and difficult to hit. She did take her time and aim, but all 3 shots completely missed. She was to end up sharing the loser's crown with Tomitake-san. Also Karin ist neben Puffy und schaut zu.
Hallo Puffy, Kari.
Ja. Hallo Karin Puffy von Jezebel. Puffy Karin. Yeah. However, she did her little meowing cry in front of the owner, and he turned to mush instantly. Nein, to mush. She was given a pack of gum as a consolation prize. Her methods were a bit audacious, but she did avoid being the loser rather magnificently. Come to think of it, Rika-chan is quite the trickster. I have no idea what Keiichi is talking about. Now then, it's decided that Tomitake-san is dead last. Everyone cheered and applauded. Tomitake-san smiled wryly, slightly bewildered. So, Tomitake-san, are you ready? Penalty time. Huh? Oh, I completely forgot about that. Jesper muss dich einloggen. Haben sonst keinen Moderator. Muss dich einloggen, haben sonst keinen Moderator. Exit ist nicht da, Test ist nicht da.
Ja.
Was? You're too naive, Tomitake-san. This is why our club can never lose. Hallo zurück von Karin. Mion pulled a felt tip marker from her pocket. Oh, it's that. Show him some mercy, Mion. At least use a washable marker. A permanent one is too harsh. Ah ha ha. It just has to be permanent. It comes off when you do the laundry anyway. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What is this? Please take it easy on me. All of us pinned his arms behind his back, and Mion approached him with the marker in one hand. And squip, squip, squip. But she didn't write on Tomitake-san's face. She wrote on the shirt he was wearing. You'd better have your big break this year, Mion. Reina took up the market next. Show me your photos next time, okay? Reina. It was a little heartwarming and I just had to laugh. Haha, this is more like a farewell card than a penalty. Oh, I'm not as soft as the rest. I'll make sure this is a proper penalty. Haha, that last, Satoko. Try harder next time, Rika. Here you go, Keiichi-san. I couldn't decide what to write, but based on what kind of penalty this was probably the most appropriate. Come back and play again, Keiichi. Tomitake-san was silent the entire time. At first he was quite bewildered, but now he had a different look on his face. So I have to wear this all the time back to Tokyo as part of the penalty. Of course, you'd better wear it all the way home. Ah ha ha ha, you could wear it when you come back. It would be nice. He appeared deeply moved. Embarrassment mixed with a wealth of other emotions made him turn a bright red. Understood, I'll wear this the next time I come here. I promise. Everyone cheered and applauded. It was the finest parting gift possible for a buddy heading out tonight. I saw the woman who was with Tomitake-san standing near the festival grounds. It seemed Tomitake-san noticed her too and knew it was time to leave. Seems like our guest is waiting. Isn't it about time? Yeah, that's certainly how it seems. Haha. Check, ein Username sagt nicht immer über das Alter der Person aus.
Altes Puffy.
Ja, anscheinend noch relativ jung. Wenn. Ja, nee, okay, keine Ahnung. Puffy, keine Ahnung. Aber die unterhalten sich gerade über Karin. Und Jack wurde gerade als Pädophiler betitelt. Also, naja.
Ja, weil auf 97 Namen steht.
Nee, weil er geschrieben hat, Karin, thanks, du weißt doch, ich werde von Beleidigungen geil. Und genau deswegen bräuchten wir einen scheiß Moderator im Chat. Tomitake-san headed off towards her and seemed to apologize for making her wait. We all shouted stuff at Tomitake-san.
Ja.
Each time we did, he looked back and waved his hand. Eventually he faded into the darkness of the night out of sight. It was quite the casual farewell. This wasn't the first time any of us had seen someone off. They had done the same thing many times before. He's gone. Well, it's about time we take off too. Rika-chan had to stay behind with the other committee members since they were having a meeting. Satoko was tagging along with her. I headed back home with the usual suspects. The walk back was quite lively, with talk of the day's war stories. Should have done this, should have done that kind of stuff. Rain and I parted ways with Mion, and then it was just the two of us. Then we got to my house and I parted ways with Rena as well. Was? Haus. Dann halt Haus.
Ja, aber okay.
Lass mich britisch sein.
Aber... Du bist Deutscher.
Ich lerne Oxford Englisch in der Schule.
Und?
Oxford ist England. Es gibt Oxford English und American English. Das glaube ich nicht. In der Schule lernen sie nur Oxford-Englisch.
Die Frau. Alles.
Ja, schön. Was heißt Benzin? Auf Englisch? Oder Tankstelle? Ist das gleiche Wort drin?
Keine Ahnung.
Sagst du zu einer Tankstelle Petrol Station oder Gas Station? Was? Dann ist American English. Weil Petrol ist Englisch, ist Oxford
Ja, aber
und
es
Gas
heißt
ist...
Gas Station.
Ja, in Amerika. In
Ach
England
so,
heißt es Petrol
Gas
Station.
ja.
Was?
Ja, so.
Ja. Ja, das ist American. Das ist aber komisch, dass ihr American English in der Schule lernt. Wie heißt der Typ mit der Kamera? Der ist Tomitake. It's already pretty late. Are you alright by yourself? Yeah, I'm perfectly fine. It's close. I'm going to run too. If you run into some weirdo, just yell.
Ich auch, ich auch, ich auch.
Ich nicht. Ich bin 21.
Hör auf.
Das ist schlecht. Ja, okay. Ja. If someone does come, will you come and save me, maybe? Maybe. If I hear you. How? Oh, okay. I'll scream loud enough so you can hear me. Merrily spinning her arms around at high speed, Rena dashed off. She was fine in that mode, not even an adult could stand against her. Rena's cheerful presence disappeared and it finally became quiet again. The curse that not a single person even whispered about. The more I learned about it tonight, the more unsettling it became. It didn't show on any of their faces, but they were probably all quite concerned about it as well. But if nothing happens tonight, then it all ends up being just crazy talk. Nothing will happen. Nothing bad. Nothing at all. What's wrong, Keiichi? Why are you standing in a place like that? Come inside, you'll catch a cold. It was my mom. Did you go, Mom? To the Watanagashi festival? In the end, your father didn't wake up, so I missed it. A little disappointing. Mom stuck her tongue out with a bit of an embarrassed look on her face. Ja, die haben ja nicht gesagt, dass, die haben das ja nicht gesagt, weil er volljährig ist.
Was?
Die haben das ja nicht gesagt, weil er volljährig ist. Er hat ja zu Karin bzw. zu Buffy geschrieben, dass es ihn geil macht, wenn er beleidigt wird. Darauf beziehen sie sich ja. Was?
Man kann Fußfetische.
Ja, ab. Ja.
Ups. Ups.
Good morning. Nice job yesterday, Kei-chan. Wo ist eigentlich Test? Warum kommt die nicht? Warum kommt Test nicht? Eben müsste ich eigentlich Commonwealth Englisch lernen. Keine Ahnung. Ich keine Ahnung, was ich lerne. Also zumindest habe ich in der Realschule Oxford Englisch gelernt. Aber ja, keine Ahnung. You didn't do.
Einigen, dass wir Englisch lernen?
Yeah. You didn't do so badly yourself, Mion. Yesterday was fun. Oh, that's right, Keiji-kun. Thank you very much for Mr. Bear. I'm glad you like it. Don't use it as a pincushion, though.
I'm glad you like it.
You like it? Mensch, du ein Stöpsel aus dem Ohr, dann hörst doch was. I wouldn't. Still chatting happily, we entered the classroom, but the moment I stepped into the room, a splashing sound and a nasty sensation. It was a bucket filled to the brim with water. And unfortunately, my foot stepped right into it. My now, how diligent of you to mop the floor this morning. Clump, 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 flip, flip, flip. Wah! Keiichi-san flicked my forehead. You should set a more brutal trap next time. Seeing that, Reina began to swoon as Mion looked on dejectedly. Everything was the same as always. Everybody was there and nothing felt out of place. Was denn?
Vorhaut ist doch Vorhaut.
Nein, Vorhaut heißt Stirn.
Aber
Vorhaut heißt Foreskin.
nein, da stand Vorhaut.
The uncertainties I'd had in the back of my mind since yesterday had vanished. What is it, Keiichi-kun? Didn't get enough sleep, maybe? Maybe. I slept like a log, but if you want, I'll do a reenactment during class. You shouldn't do that. Mion alerted us that the teacher was coming, so everyone shuffled off to their seats. Good morning, everyone. So yesterday was the festival. Thank you to all of the people who stayed until the very end to help clean up. We were all slackers, so none of us actually helped clean up. Actually, I had a feeling that the only thing we did was run around the festival and cause a ruckus. Okay then, this time of the year you might see some people here from out of town doing interviews about the festival for magazines. I thought it was the usual stuff, so... Was? Ja, das ist richtig. I thought it was the usual stuff, so I was going to tune it out, but then I noticed the different tone in her voice and started paying attention. You may be asked questions. Please don't say anything silly or something that could be taken the wrong way. Do you understand? In unison, everyone replied, "Yes, ma'am." What she'd said was really vague, but I understood what she was trying to say. After all, this was the 5th year. There were probably lots of third-rate reporters pouring in, hoping something regarding the curse had happened. It did nothing but perpetuate the village's bad image. She was saying, don't spout stupid shit you think is funny. And now I was one of ones who needed to keep their mouths shut. I found it rather cute how I felt a sense of unity from such a trite thing, if I do say so myself. I was summoned to club activities after school. Since everybody was still pretty tired from yesterday. Was steht denn drauf? Super Barbecue Marshmallows. Also nehme ich stark an, das sind Marshmallows.
Habt ihr noch am Feuer gemacht?
Ja, wohl. Weiß gar nicht, vielleicht einmal oder so. Aber hockst doch ewig drin. Wenn du die halbwegs gescheit machen willst. Since everybody was still pretty tired from yesterday, we just spent the day relaxing. Yeah, that wasn't happening. Today, let's play a classic game of deduction. How about this one? Oh, a game from overseas. Looks interesting. The instructions are in English, but the rules don't seem that hard. I won't lose you here. I'm not too bad at this game. It seemed that Reina didn't handle this kind of game very well. The rules are: the person who can match the murderer, weapon and the scene of the crime wins. Ah, die spielen Cluedo. There were 3 kinds of cards comprised of suspects, weapons and locations. I could see that the names Mion and Rika were written on the suspect cards. Oh, a card with my name on it as well. There are plenty of different weapons too, like knives, axes and poison. The locations are pretty nice too, like the living room, the study and the courtyard. So basically, you take out one of each of the cards. These are the answer cards. So we shuffle the remaining cards and hand them out. We ask each other about the cards and figure out the right ones. Ah, I see. So the cards nobody has are the true perpetrators. Then you raise your hand if you know the answer. The game ends and we check if the answer is correct. If you're right, then you get a point. If you're wrong, then you lose a point. Since the game ends, even if no one gets it right, all the cards are gathered up and redistributed. Was? Was mit Kartenspiel? Ja, was ist damit? Die spielen Cluedo. Ja. Mit Mörder, Waffe und wo es passiert ist. Nö. Die spielen das für mich. You'll learn as you go. You really have to use your brain. You'll get confused if you don't take notes. The rest you can figure out by playing. So Mion, what's the penalty this time? Everyone directed their attention to Mion. Let's see. We're all still a little tired from yesterday, so maybe we'll take it easy with a gopher penalty. You'll be asked to rush out and buy stuff for everyone. So just being asked to go buy stuff like drinks and candy, I guess. I feel like the penalty today is pretty simple. I wonder, is it really? Is Keiichi-san thinking what I'm thinking? Yeah, you don't know what you'll have to go buy. I'm betting Mion would send out whoever loses to buy stuff like... But... Ja. Nom nom weiße Schokolade. Nom nom weiße Schokolade. Mach mal so, ich krieg alle weißen und du kriegst alle grünen. Okay. I'm betting Mion would send out whoever loses to buy stuff like hemorrhoid cream or happy family planning manual or other crazy stuff. The cards were lightly shuffled and passed out to each player. The real perpetrator, the correct weapon and the scene of the murder have been taken out. So that means all the cards I have in my hand are innocent cards. Then I'll go first, since I'm the club president, I guess. Well then, Mion, knife. Mion, knife, study. So spielt man Cluedo aber nicht. Die spielen irgendwie so eine komische Kartenversion von Cluedo. Also anscheinend ohne Spielbrett oder so.
Ah,
Echt? Hab ich nicht gewusst. Ich kenne nur das mit dem richtigen Spielbrett.
ja,
und
ich habe das mal mit dem Brett gespielt, als ich klein war.
Ja.
Weiß ich noch. Ich hab, achso, das.
Ja, und die spielen anscheinend irgendwie so eine Version, wo man nur die Karten braucht. Und kein Spielbrett. Ja. You pick one suspect, weapon and murder scene and ask each person. If you have any of those cards, then you must say, I have one. However, you don't need to say which one you have. Yeah, I got it. Me too. I have one. Oh my, all of them are here. Three people answered when she asked if they had Mion, knife and study. So that means that Mion and knife and study are all in the clear. Got to jot that down. Nimm 2. Ja.
Aber leider nur eins. Dann kann ich nicht mehr.
Mit.
Was ist, wenn du 2 nimmst? Heißt bei beiden 3. Heißt, du musst nochmal 2 nehmen. Heißt, es werden 4.
Ja. Du darfst nie aufhören, sonst hast du verloren. Und stirbst. Jetzt stirbst du. Warum verstehst du das Spiel nicht? Weil du nicht aufpasst. Deswegen.
Nein, weil ich Englisch so bin.
Du warst in der Schule.
Ab.
Du warst in der Schule, du musst Englisch können.
Ich hatte schon, ich hatte. Oh!
Was? Yay.
Voll reingetroffen!
Siehst du mal.
Bevor der Punktzahl hier hält.
Ja.
Nee. Englisch hatte ich auch eine 2, aber vor einem Jahr hatte ich. Und weil ich dann eher so sehr mit den übersetzten Kopf gespielt, dass ich die Handlung. Aber für so Geschichten sowas, das kann ich mir dann alles bildlich vorstellen. Aber bei Erklärungen, wovon ich noch nichts weiß, das funktioniert oder so. Das kann ich mir nicht wirklich vorstellen. Das kann ich mir auf Deutsch auch gar nicht wirklich vorstellen.
Okay.
Schneller.
Ja gut.
Diese Übersetzung.
Ja. Wir müssen mal Cluedo kaufen. Ich will das mal spielen. Doch!
Kacken.
Was? Ja, kacken. Ja. Then I'll go.
MM.
Ja, du bist auch MMP.
Ja. M.
Ja, genau.
Hä? Was steht da?
Steht eigentlich MGGLP. Egal. Rainer X Launch. Only 2 people said they had one. So it means out of Arena X and Launch, one of them is correct and is part of the crime. No, wait. Even if they say they have one, they don't have to say how many. It's possible that either Satoko or Rika-chan has 2 of the cards. Well, Kei-chan is next. Go ahead. Wait just a little. I'm still sorting things out. The game has me thinking more than I thought. Oh man, this feels like it's going to be tough. Nah, alright, now I have the criminal. What? Already? Here I am spinning around in circles and Mion just now raises her hand. The murderer is Rika-chan. In the infirmary with the poison. Well? Mion drew the cards from the box and we checked to see if her deduction was right. Einen kurzen Moment, ich muss mir meine Nase putzen. You were right. So. All I needed was one more hand. I couldn't tell whether it was poison or a pistol. I'd never use a pistol. I like killing them slowly with poison. Rika-chan said such a hugely terrifying thing with such a sweeter little face. Everyone was making a commotion about how they almost had it. Reina and I were left out in the cold though. How did you do, Keiji-kun? I couldn't get it at all. Don't worry, I had no idea. Oh, no idea either. How can you both be so unsure? You'll both end up in last place together at this rate. That's even worse. Nicht wundern, wenn ich manchmal in so komische Dialekte abdrifte. Das ist irgendwie... Das mache ich gerne mal, wenn ich Englisch vorlese. Going off buying something together as a couple. What if we ended up having to buy the Happy Family Planning Guide? I can tell from Keiichi's expression that he is not very good at this game. What? That's not true. I'll show you the true power of Sherlock Maebara during the next round. My, that sounds just wonderful. I shall give you quite the thrashing. After that, I managed to somewhat grasp the trick behind the game, but I was still always a step or two behind. I saw that Mion was somehow gleaning information from how the others were asking the questions. That level of experience was just too much. The only way I could stage a comeback was if I became ruthless. I tossed out the simple concept of deduction and switched over to the thought process needed to win. The important thing isn't to find out the criminal, it's to win at the game. Eureka! Ah, sorry. Need to go to the bathroom. Oh, Karin! Take your time and squeeze out a nice one. Michan, that's gross. I had them hold off the game and headed down the hall. The air was crisp. It showed just how stagnant the air in the classroom was from our body heat. On the school grounds, some of our classmates were still playing around. After spending some time cooling my head, Reina had made her way over towards me. Keiichi-kun, did you call for me? Yeah, I did. As I got up from my seat, I winked over at Reina. I'm glad it worked out. I don't want to waste much time, so I'll get right to the point. Reina, what's your record at this game we're playing today? She was taken aback. After a moment, she hesitantly opened her mouth. Well, all losses. Why do you ask? I wonder. I could tell from how apprehensively she was playing. The way things are going, I will as well. I can't figure out a way to pull off a last-minute comeback on this one. So I guess both of us will be taking that penalty? Hey, don't accept defeat already. How about we win this? Both of us. But how can we? I brought my lips up to Rena's ear. Whisper, 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 whisper. Is that allowed? Did you forget, Rena? The second rule of our society. Do everything in your power to obtain victory. Yeah, I'll try my best. Our plan of attack was a quite rudimentary one. At the beginning of the game, everyone would be focused on their own hand for a while, taking notes and whatnot. Since our seats were right next to each other, we'd reveal our hands to each other. If we did it under the desk, then nobody would know. We'd begin the game with twice as much information as everyone else. Having this much information would mean we'd need to investigate less. With this sort of plan of attack, we start off with a big lead over the other guys. Yeah, with this we can probably win. We both smirked at each other. If I was the shady businessman, then Rena was the corrupt senator. Hehe, pleasure doing business with you. Then let's hurry back. We'll work as a duo to surprise everyone. Hey now, there's no point if we go back together. It would be like flat out telling them we made a little arrangement. Oh, sorry, then what should we do? Go back ahead of me, Rena. I'll take my time coming back after washing my face or something. Okay, got it. Rena turned around and headed back to the classroom. Huh, I guess I should wait a bit longer before going back. If I went too soon, it wouldn't seem like I went to the bathroom. If Mion or one of them suspected something, there could be problems. Well, they'd figure it out sooner or later, because both Rena and I would start winning over and over again. Both Rena and I will have earned enough points to avoid being the losers by the time Mion realized what was happening. Excellent. Not bad at all. Aibara-kun, may I have a moment? Huh? It's the teacher. Man, things were just getting good. What is it? I'm a bit... You have a guest. Please make your way to the entrance. A guest? It's not like I own a hotel. They have been waiting. Please hurry. It was rather unfortunate that I'd have someone waiting on me right before my big match, but I was more interested in the unexpected guest. I didn't want to waste any time, so I decided to take care of it quickly. The entryway was a heavy contrast from the hot sunlight and deep shadows. Waiting there, looking uncomfortably warm, was a middle-aged man, his tie sloppy loosened and his jacket tucked underneath his arm. An den kann ich mich, jetzt wo ich den gerade sehe, kann ich mich an den auch noch erinnern. Das ist, glaube ich, ein Detektiv oder Polizist oder sowas. Ayo Maibara-san. Keiichi Maibara-san. There was no question that he was a resident of Hinamisaba, and that this was without a doubt the first time he had met me. Ever since I met Tomitake-san, I'd been running into so many middle-aged men. That's right, who might you be? I have the AC on in my car. Let's talk there. It's a bit hot. It's a bit hot here, don't you think? Blablabla. The man, completely ignoring my question, pointed over to his car parked near the gate and began walking. You've got to be kidding me. I had no intention of going along with some geezer I didn't even know, and he was asking me to get in his car with him? I'm not going to bite. Come on now. He opened the back door of his car and called me over. I didn't like this old man, but I wanted to know what this was about. Even while knowing that conversations that start out like this have never led to anything good. The inside of his car was pretty cool. Cars with air conditioners were supposed to be a luxury. My dad didn't have one in his car, at least. Please let me know if it's too cold for you, okay? I have a habit of cranking it all the way up. So what business do you have with me? Out of spite, I decided to ignore his remark in the same way he did to me and start my own line of questioning. He pulled out a notepad from his pocket and took out a picture that was stuck between the pages. On it was the face of a pretty goofy-looking guy. If you know anything related to this individual, then please tell me. Who the heck is this? I doubt even his close friends would be able to recognize who he was from this expressionless picture that looked like it was taken at the DMV. There were scribbles on his shirt done in permanent marker. Starting with yours, my Barasan, and quite a few of your classmates signed as well. Huh? This is Tomitake-san. There was no hint of his usual unreliable and easygoing personality in this photo. It was an expressionless, half-asleep face. Then, do you know this woman? Even before seeing it, I had a good idea of who it was. I don't remember her name, but she's some lady who was with Tomitake-san last night. I didn't know what her name was, but I did know she was a resident of Hinamizawa. When was the last time you saw these two? The night of the Watanagashi. We spoke. They seemed pretty close, I guess. Did anything bother you about them? Anything is fine. Go ahead and say it. Being asked for every little detail is very troubling, honestly. I had a pretty good idea of who this guy was by now. Did something happen to them? There was no response to my inquiry. Thus I replied to that silence in kind. I was pretty sure, no, certain, that this guy was a cop. Then why? Why was he asking about Tomitake-san? Did something happen to him? More importantly, why me? Shouldn't there have been plenty of other people who knew me, who knew more about him than I did? The roar of the air conditioner felt unbearably loud. After a long pause, he finally spoke again. You've moved here just recently, isn't that right, my Bara-san? Are you aware, I wonder, about the stories of Oyashiro-sama? My heart began to race. I'm pretty terrible at hiding things. It probably showed on my face. Not at all? If you don't, then that's fine. Well, I have heard of it. Tomitake-san told me, actually. How much do you know about it? The dismemberment killing. The accidental death. The death by illness followed by suicide. And the lady who was beaten to death. The incidents that always happen the day of the Watanagashi, ending in suspicious deaths. I didn't think Tomitake-san would have kept anything from me. I think that was everything. No. Was denn?
Der Mama hat gar nicht bemerkt, dass ich draußen war. Und ich bin so durch die Tür und die schaut mich so an. Und ich so, gar nicht gemerkt, dass du da bist. Außer dass ich
No, rather, I didn't want to think there was anything more than that. Do you know of that, well, curse, my Bada-san? Feel free to speak openly about it. I don't believe in it. My answer was instant. It wasn't so much that I didn't believe in it, as I was on the verge of believing. I wanted to clear away my own doubts. That was the more prominent feeling. Really? Then that's great. Guess you really are one of those city-raised boys. So what if I don't believe? I have friends waiting, so could you get to the point? The man in this picture is dead. Her mind went black. Huh? What happened to Tomitaki-san? It would seem that he died last night. That was the night of the Watanagashi. Do you understand the implications behind that, my Bada-san? The implications? Not any for the cause of his death or the reasons behind it. Kein Foto machen von mir.
Ich mach kein Foto.
Kein Video machen von mir.
Kein Video.
Was machst du dann?
Winke, winke.
Kein Videoanrufe machen. Warum? The real problem was that he died on the day of the Watanagashi. Meaning, this year. The curse of Oyashiro-sama had once again. The death of Jiro Tomitake is still confidential. You can understand why that is, right? I didn't want to understand why. Please, tell me. Tell me what happened. Tomitake-san ist tot. Der Fotograf. Weiß nicht, der ist halt gestorben.
Das Cluedo-Spiel.
Ja, genau. It was a rather peculiar. It might be a little too graphic for someone born and raised in Hinamizawa. It was a roundabout way of saying it, but it caused me to doubt whether or not I wanted to hear the rest. I would only regret forcing myself to learn of something I shouldn't. Or at least that's how I figured it would feel if I listened to the rest. One of our patrol cars discovered the body on the way back from security detail at the festival. It was late, about 5 till midnight. The location was, you know where the road into town becomes paved, right? Down past the slope on the shoulder around there. There were a few streetlights on the road. Its pitch black darkness was only broken by the lights of passing cars and the moon. It was a stroke of luck that Tomitake-san was spotted collapsed on the shoulder of the road. Tomitake-san was face down, covered in blood. Blood and muck covered the asphalt. We thought it was a hit and run at first, but when the officer checked to see if he was still alive, he quickly noticed something abnormal. His throat had been ripped open. From a knife or something? No. Nails. Nails? As in fingernails? With those he clawed through? From the coroner's report, it was revealed that it was with his own nails. Huh? What? What does that mean? Basically, it means it wasn't a murder. It was suicide. Tomitake-san thought there was a reason to tear his own throat. As hard as he could with his own nails. Tore through the skin until he started to bleed. And even then, Tomitake-san didn't stop. He continued clawing, with enough intensity that it could have peeled off his nails, still clawing. Still clawing. Then, as his nails reached those vital arteries that you should never damage, he continued clawing. Splurred. Blood splattered on the ground around him. As he bled, while gasping for breath, he collapsed, his body spasmed, and he died in agony. We thought drugs were to blame, but nothing of that nature was detected. But this... it was a suicide. I have never heard of such a thing. This unnatural way of dying. If this wasn't a mysterious death, then what was? The way he died, in these 5 years, his death most resembled that of a curse. As if to show both myself and Tomitake-san, who proclaimed there was no such thing as a curse, that we were wrong. There were a few more suspicious details. From his body chemistry, perspiration, epilation, and so on, we concluded that he was in a state of hysteria right before his death. That was a given. It's hard to believe someone could be in a sound state of mind while clawing out their throat. Wounds on his hands matched a discarded piece of lumber found nearby. There are traces of where he struck trees and the guardrails with it. Tomitake-san's blood was found all over the place. Meaning that while tearing at his own throat, he was swinging around a piece of lumber. There were external injuries, which were not self-inflicted, discovered on Tomitake-san. There's a high probability Tomitake-san was assaulted. The external injuries suggest there may be multiple suspects. To summarize, Tomitake-san was surrounded and attacked. While wandering the night roads in a state of panic, after being cornered, he picked up a piece of lumber and tried fighting back. Somewhere in there, he began madly tearing at his own throat, clawing at it. Then he died. The presumed time of death was around 9:23 p.m. Meaning it occurred right after you finished talking to Tomitake-san at the festival. Everyone signed Tomitake-san's shirt, then parted ways. Right after that... Oh yeah, he should have been with a woman. What about her? She's missing. She hasn't shown up to work and she hasn't returned home either. There's a very high probability that she was involved in this incident. For a while I could only gaze off into space. I never would have thought that something unfortunate happening to somebody close to me could affect me this deeply. The time I had spent with Tomitake-san was short. But we went to the same festival, spent time together and took part in the same competition. He was one of us. We had been continuing the investigation on various fronts, but when it comes to Oyashiro-sama's curse, the villagers here aren't very cooperative. That I knew well. I would have been none the wiser if not for Tomitake-san, the outsider, telling me. So that's why you came to me, because I'm not originally from Hinamizawa. I should have been angry at that. I should have been angry that that was the reason you wanted to hear what happened from me. If things go the way they have been, then the conclusion would be that Jiro Tomitake died from Oyashiro-sama's curse. He turned away from me and gazed far off into the distance. The night of the Watanagashi, during this sacred ritual, he callously snapped off photos, angering Oyashiro-sama. That's how it's going to turn out. There's no way your Oyashiro-sama would inflict divine punishment on Tomitaki-san. Tomitaki-san had to have been killed by humans, in a cowardly group, no less. There's no way I'm going to let this end up being the fault of some curse. I think so as well. There's no such thing as divine punishment or curses. The tense mood was cut with the man's hearty laugh. That's how this must be, my brother-san. Cooperation from individuals in Hinamizawa who don't believe in the curse is indispensable. Understand? Neither Tomitaki-san nor I believed in curses. But with the way things were going, it would just end up with Tomitaki-san's death marking the 5th year. Which would mean that Hinamizawa had rejected Tomitaki-san. That was something I couldn't allow. Tomitaki-san was one of us. He didn't live in Hinamizawa, but he came every single year. In a sense, he was more of a resident than I was. There was no way that Tomitaki-san could have been cursed by Oshiro-sama. But there's nothing I can do to help. I have no idea what happened that night either. No. If you see or hear something that draws your attention, then that is enough. If I see or hear, he was talking in the future tense. Things or people or rumors. Anything is fine. I don't care if they're unfounded. Here, this is my number. If I'm not there, then just leave a message, with whoever picks up. He handed me a piece of paper with his number on it, but I hesitated for a second. If I took it, then whether I wanted to or not, I'd be mired knee-deep in this matter. Please help me solve these questions surrounding Tomitaki-san's unfortunate death. That's right, I was hesitating. I needed to find the murderer who killed my friend. I snatched up the piece of paper as a satisfied grin spread across his face. Everything we spoke of today is a secret. Please keep this confidential. Understood. From your friends as well. Especially from Sonosaki-san and Furude-san. Please do not inform them. Sonosaki? You mean Mion? Why? Are you saying they have something to do with the incident? With my friends' names brought up so abruptly and being told to keep it a secret from them, I became rather angry. This is what they call investigative privilege, I suppose. Don't play games with me. Mion is a close friend of mine. I snapped at him, but he didn't seem to especially be offended. I wouldn't mind telling you, but it may just upset you. Say it. He hesitated a little. Turning his gaze to the outside of the car, he began to speak after thinking for a bit. There's a possibility that the string of incidents happening here in Hinamizawa are a result of a village conspiracy. There's no way that could be right. Give me a break. First of all, is there any proof of that? No evidence. Also, each of all the cases were resolved, and none of the perpetrators had any direct connection to the village. Then how did you come to that conclusion? Every year, the enemies of the village die on the day of the Watanagashi. Don't you think that's enough reason to suspect something? Only the residents of Hinamizawa felt that the day of the Watanagashi was sacred. So basically, because incidents happen on that day, it was something related to Hinamizawa. First it was the dam construction foreman, then it was a villager that supported it. The villager hold a grudge against die one after the other from mysterious causes. The means are different, but in the end the result is the same. Unfounded, unreasonable suspicion. But it couldn't just be shrugged off. So the victims after that, what about the Shinto priest and his wife's death? They weren't enemies of the village. The villagers had expected leadership from the Shinto priest at the time of the dam dispute, but he wasn't proactive, so there was a faction of villagers who harbored ill will towards him as a result. Ill will? It's not like he did anything bad to the village. What about that housewife after that? Did she die just because she was the wife of the brother of a supporter? That's such a trivial reason to kill someone. And what about Tomitaki-san? He's not affiliated with the damn project at all. He was killed just because he was an outsider. In the beginning, it fell on those related to the damn project, but as the years went on, the enemy threshold of the victims had become much lower. Well, that's the scary part. The bar keeps getting lower. That's what's scary about that. It means it's not just enemies of the village anymore. Just being an outsider is reason enough. Then, next year's victim, they're just going to be picked out of the village outsider pool. It might be a person that just moved here. What do you mean by... I swallowed my words. Here in Hinamizawa, the ones who would be considered the most outside would be my family. I was proof enough of that, wasn't I? I still couldn't really remember the names of the people I passed by. Then, the next victims, my family. Was he saying it was going to be me? But what about that... Bleh. But what does that have to do with Mion? I can't go into details, but the Sonosaki family led the damn protests. Quite fervently so. This is also true of Mion Sonosaki-san herself. She has quite a few misdemeanors and obstruction of public worker offenses on her record because of the protests. I knew Mion knew what it meant to fight. This was the first I'd heard of her family leading the protest, though. Then, well, what did it all mean? Are you saying that Mion's family is involved with the string of incidents? I wouldn't go that far. I'm just saying that if it was a conspiracy, then they'd have the highest probability of being behind it. Not a very clear explanation. It felt like he'd magnificently avoided the details I really wanted to know. We don't know who or how involved anyone is right now. That is exactly what I don't want you to say anything to the villagers. Why I don't want you to say anything to the villagers. Instead of answering, I gave a very bitter expression. It seemed that he understood it well enough. Then think of it like this. I don't want to worry the villagers who blindly believe it's the curse. How about that? What do you mean, how about that? How should I know? But the reasoning behind wanting me to not carelessly open my mouth about it wasn't too hard to comprehend. The perpetrator was here. It had nothing to do with the curse. He was definitely going to be caught by the police and made to pay for his crimes. And none of the villagers should have anything to do with that process. It may cause those sensitive about the curse to just worry needlessly. Just like everyone kept it from me so I wouldn't worry about it. Is it now my turn to keep it from them so they didn't have to worry? I was just talking to myself. Unlike me, everyone else had been worrying over these mysterious incidents yearly. And the incident this time probably means a lot more to them. I didn't want to burden them anymore. In the end, everything went as the man had wanted, as insipid as it was. But it couldn't be helped. I understand, so I'll keep it to myself. Is that fine, Mr. Oishi from the Okinomiya police station? You can call me Kura-chan if you want. Ah no, Oishi-san is fine. The way he said it was unpleasant, yet retained hints of politeness. He was the spitting image of a vulgar police officer. Though I've never seen one of this bulky before in the cop shows I watch. I've taken up too much time. Your friends are waiting, aren't they? I should probably let you get back to them. Ach, Amethyst. Test ist er. Test ist er. Da kommt es immer unpünktlich und dann wird Higurashi gespielt. Amethyst. Aber, ja gut, Test, hast ein bisschen was verpasst. Ein kleines bisschen. Also. Was passiert ist, ja, wir jetzt, so von dem, was wir mitbekommen haben, nach dem Gespräch mit Tomitake, also diesem Fotografen, während oder nach dem Festival sind wir halt alle heimgegangen. Nichts passiert danach. Dann haben wir im Club ein bisschen irgend so eine komische Version von Cluedo mit den anderen Leuten gespielt und jetzt gerade wurden wir von diesem einen Polizisten verhört und haben mitbekommen, dass eben Tomitake gestorben ist, dass er anscheinend von einer Gruppe von Menschen angegriffen wurde und sich dann irgendwie, zumindest so wie es im Moment aussieht, sich den Hals aufgerissen hat, selbst. Irgendwie so. Ja, mehr haben wir in der Zeit jetzt eigentlich nicht wirklich in Erfahrung bringen können. The door opened with a click and Indigala hat angekündigt. Shadow of Mordor Deal. What? Shadow of Mordor. Indigala. Wo kann ich das angucken? Da muss ich mal gucken. Bei Shadow of Mordor habe ich noch nicht. Das interessiert mich so halb. Shadow of Mordor Deal ist live. Indigala.com/Mordor. Für wie viel denn? Shadow of Mordor Game of the Year Edition für $14,89. Das heißt, für 13 Euro und 7 bis 8 Cent. Ist das gut? Wie viel kostet ein Shadow of Mordor normal? 50 Euro, das ist sehr, sehr billig. Soll ich es mir holen? Ich habe eigentlich kein Geld mehr. Aber so billig kriegst du es wahrscheinlich kaum mehr. Irgendwie. Ich muss mal ganz schnell auf mein Konto schauen, wie viel Geld ich habe.
Ja.
Kaufen könnte ich mir noch. Da ist ein Spiel ganz, ganz billig.
Ja.
Das will ich. Also normal kostet es 50 Euro. Ich könnte es aber für 13 Euro bekommen. Was?
Also.
Ja, so halb Steam. Also kaufen tue ich es bei Indigala Freischalten, aber auf Steam.
Weil wir keine Deutsch.
Doch, hast du. Schuldest mir sowieso noch 12,50 €.
Ja.
Oder ich nehme mir 2 Gramm von den 3.
Ja.
Aber Geld?
Ah, wenn ich morgen unterwegs.
Überweise es mir das Geld. Gut. Gut. So. Gut, dann hole ich mir ganz schnell Shadow of Mordor. Weil das Spiel, wie gesagt, das interessiert mich. Schon länger. Bloß ich hatte nie das Geld dafür. Gut, der Preis erhöht sich sehr schnell. Inzwischen kostet es fast 15 $. Jetzt muss ich mich schnell beeilen. Ich habe noch PayPal-Guthaben. Okay, auch gut. Gut. Yay. E-Mail with the link, okay. Schauen wir mal kurz in meine E-Mails rein. Ach, übrigens. Ich habe mir dieses eine Humble Bundle gekauft. Ich habe mir dieses ein Humble Bundle gekauft. Für 3 € oder sowas. Und da war unter anderem Neverending Nightmares, heißt es, glaube ich, dabei. Das werde ich, denke ich mal, mit in die Abstimmung für den Stream reintun, weil das Spiel ist relativ interessant. Ist so eine Art Horrorspiel. Ist, wie gesagt, recht interessant. Und ja. Würde ich auch ganz gerne zeigen und so weiter. Da waren auch ein paar andere Spiele drin, an die ich mich jetzt nicht mehr so gut erinnern kann. Aber die muss ich mir einfach mal anschauen. Eventuell nehme ich von den Spielen auch noch ein paar irgendwie mit rein. Gut. Dann hätten wir das. Okay, gut. Dann hätten wir das gemacht, dann machen wir Higurashi noch ein bisschen. Dauert, denke ich mal, nicht so extrem lange noch, bis der Tag, der hier fertig ist. The door opened with a click and it streamed the oppressor feed and in-streamed the oppressor feed. It was blistering outside of the car. Was it really this hot of a day? It was an almost cruel heat as opposed to the mechanical coolness inside the car. It was as if The land of Hinamizawa itself suddenly hated me. I felt a little sad as that thought crossed my mind. I didn't mean to suspect your friends. Please don't misunderstand that. I refrained from telling him that it was too late to say something that self-serving. It's fine if you don't see or hear anything, my brother-son. There's enough proof that the village is not involved. I contact you if I hear or see anything, but I'm no detective. Please don't expect too much from me. I won't. You don't have to become a detective. Just go on living as you have up until now. Just let me know if you notice anything. I hastily made my way back to the school building after giving him a quick bow. See you later. Farewell, Maribara-kun. I returned to the school building without looking back. I don't know how much time had passed. I did feel bad for keeping them waiting, but right now there was a lot on my mind. Tomitake-san's death was hard enough as it was, but to think that there was the possibility of a village conspiracy. Worse still, there was also a chance that Mion was involved. Nonsense. Impossible. Not Mion, Reina, Satoko, or Rika-chan. It was a group that attacked Tomitake-san. Who could the perpetrators be? Could it be they were hiding somewhere, hiding here, somewhere in Hinamizawa? Hello, exit. I didn't know. All I could say for certain was that I knew that Mion couldn't be the perpetrator. It's me, John, the perpetrator. Huh? I was startled to hear Reina's voice. With the rope in the launch. Bahahaha. Nope. No. Reina clutched her head while flailing about. Looks like you're just self-destructing over here. Wow. Ah, Keiichi-san, you're quite late. As you may well know, I'm seething with anger. Sorry about that. I was called into the staff room, you see. You're reprimanded for bad behavior. That's a shame. Einen kurzen Moment. Good. Well, it's been pretty heated over here. Since it's getting pretty late, let's make the next game the last one. If I remember right, I had 0 points. Isn't it pretty much decided that I'm going to be finishing it in last place? Don't worry, Keiichi-kun. I'm at -1 points. Oh, the heck. The score is lower than mine, and I wasn't even playing. That is the final match to decide if the penalty is going to be carried out by Reina alone or by both Kei-chan and Reina. Yeah, right. Just let Reina do the penalty by herself. We made a promise, Keiichi-kun, that we would both win. I waited all this time, you know. I'm sorry about that. I followed my initial plan of showing Reina my cards, but I didn't say who was the criminal and just waited for her to call. I got it. The murderer is me, with the poison at the entrance. Is it? Is it? My, Reina, quite a quick answer. Another step in the dark. Oh. Reina's correct. Oh. Then it's decided that Keiichi-san shall take part in the penalty as well. Hooray! Keiichi-kun, let's both do our best. Yeah, let's do our best. It's my fault, so I have no choice. Then that's game. It's me, Mion Sonosaki, ranked first. In dead last are Keiichi Maebara and Reina Ryugu. Everyone applauded and the game ended. The problem now was the penalty. Now then, I ranked first, so I'll decide what you'll be buying for the Gopher penalty. What will she make us buy? I wonder. Let's blacklist. Test, hast du... Ich habe absolut keine Ahnung, wie Cluedo direkt gespielt wird. Es ist, also Ziel vom Spiel ist einfach, so viel weiß ich, dass man irgendwie durch ein Haus rum, also wenn man das mit Brett spielt, weil die haben irgendwie so eine abgewandelte Version nur mit Karten gespielt. Jedenfalls Ziel von dem Spiel ist halt einfach rauszufinden, wer irgendwen umgebracht hat, mit welcher Waffe getötet wurde oder halt mit welchem Mittel, Waffe, also mein Gift ist ja nicht wirklich eine Waffe, und wo das Ganze passiert ist. Wie man das Ganze spielt, weiß ich selbst überhaupt nicht. Interessiert mich aber selbst auch. Und andere Frage an Test, kannst du dich irgendwie an den Anime noch erinnern? Hat die Rena wirklich so oft irgendwie irgendwas wiederholt immer wieder? Ich meine, hier mit dem I wonder und was weiß ich, das ist ja so gut wie bei fast jedem Satz bei der, dass die ihre letzten Worte nochmal wiederholt. Das ist irgendwie... Falls es im Anime ist, dann ist es mir nie wirklich aufgefallen, glaube ich. Let's blacklist the drugstore. That was your aim, wasn't it? Huh? I don't have any business at the drugstore. This old man's already got a list prepared for you on this piece of paper. Oh, there's a lot written here. A lot? Damn it, what is she making us buy? Two blocks of tofu, shampoo and conditioner, apple vinegar and fried tofu. The heck is this? It looks more like a shopping list than a penalty. Me was certain she was going to win today. Rule 7 of our society, you cannot refuse any penalty. Here's some money. The shampoo I usually get is Fruit Fable. Thanks. This is just your grocery list. I promised myself that if I won next time, I'd make her go buy hemorrhoid cream. Ja, okay. Ja gut, dann ist okay. Also wir sind noch nicht fertig, aber wir haben ein Achievement bekommen. Not a clue. Save. End of Chapter 7. Kapitel 7 haben wir fertig. Ich schaue mal kurz in die Achievements von dem Spiel rein.